Hello and welcome to MGP288. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Hello.
I've still got my 7-sided dice on my desk that Pab got me from his nerd convention last year.
Roll it now.
I am going to roll it now. Let's see what number.
4.
Oh, it's a 5. Sorry, Sheepdog, you lose. Pab, why don't you have a prediction? What am I going to roll?
3.
7. Anna, your prediction?
7.
It's a 5. All three of you lose. 10 points for me. Excellent. We'll play that again next week or never.
We're 10-0 down already. It's only just started.
I know.
Just start putting your predictions in 5-star iTunes reviews.
Oh, no, there's an idea. Look at that, Mr. Professional, asking for the reviews up front before people have got bored and stopped listening.
Exactly.
Giving them a reason to do it. This is top quality interneting, Pab. Have you read a book?
No, and Kev points on offer for whoever gets it right.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. So your predictions, and if anyone gets the prediction right, you can have... I mean, I'll give out 15 Kev points to the winners.
Are you sure?
I'm happy. Yeah, I'll give out 15. 15 for the first winner who gets it right. So I'm not going to give 15 out to everybody.
You're not a maniac.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like these points are imaginary. I can just give them out willy-nilly.
And have no monetary value.
Exactly.
In any way, shape or form.
How are we all on this fine week anyway? Do I need my cartoon jingle for Sheepdog?
No, I don't think I've had anything. Do you know what? I thought I was... there's been so many opportunities, basically, and I kept thinking, here we go. But I got invited down to London to watch Tottenham play in the week, and I thought there's bound to be some shenanigans down there. I got to go in the Gold Lounge at Wembley and have a fancy burger and get ploughed with drinks. And I kept saying, I've got to drive home later, and they kept bringing out more beers. There was enough time between me driving back and the beers, but the match was a bit mad. I've never been at a football match with that much snow before. They all came out at once with shovels during the game, and just everyone ran around the outside of the pitch like it was some mad puzzle. It's quite fascinating. Apparently, they sprayed the lines blue before the match and then realised VAR can't see blue lines, so they had to respray them white, and there were these weird white, light blue lines all around the pitch. That was good fun. And I on the way back, nearly missed my stop falling asleep. And then when I woke up at my stop, the train door was frozen shut and I couldn't get off the train.
So you're still on it now? Riding up and down the tracks?
I started to panic because someone was going, just push it. And the person in front of me wasn't. They were like, so they're pushing the button. And I'm like, they mean the door. So I'm trying to push the door and getting into full Hulk Sheepdog mode behind her, and she's not getting out of the way so I can try and push the door. And I'm thinking if she doesn't move soon, I'm going to push the whole train over. But then somebody called us down to another carriage and let us out. But for a moment...
Some genius remembered trains have more than one door.
Well, yeah, but it was one of those things where it was like, if we didn't get off the train in the 2 minutes it was stopping at Peterborough, it was going to go all the way to York. So we were all panicking and thinking, we don't have time. But
let's stand next to this locked door. We don't have time to go up there 10 feet to the one that's open.
I was telling everyone, if they drive off, I'm just going to yank the chain and then, they can find me. I don't care and all this. But I had to drive home it must have been 12:30 in that blizzard and all that. The next morning, the army shut the roads around it. Were you aware at all that we were locked in Deeping yesterday?
Yeah. Well, we've been pretty. Yeah, it's been more than one day, hasn't it? We've been completely cut off from the world. Have you been in Tesco? The shelves are completely bare. I was in there this afternoon and it was like Christmas Eve. Psychopaths at the tills, 10 people deep, and literally nothing on the shelves. Vlog spoiler for tomorrow. I took some footage in there until they told me to stop filming their empty shelves.
Weird. It was all right. I went in there at 6 and it was all full.
They must have got a delivery through them. Because I think this was about 4 o'clock, and
it's about 5
because you said
because you weren't going out then. He said, "I'll go and make dinner."
Yeah, no fresh produce, no fresh bread, basically anything fresh. They had cans and stuff.
Oh, they had no bread. To be fair, I went in there to get some stir fry pieces, bits and pieces to make a stir fry with, and I thought I might get a loaf of bread, and there was no bread, but everything else was in there. I thought they were being over dramatic because I went to get some beers and the bloke said, everyone's going nuts over a bit of snow. And I thought, no more people in here than normal. And they were all making these little noises about how mad everyone was going. But maybe I'm just oblivious. They didn't have any cocktails.
Yeah, but it's blizzarding outside again now.
Yeah, I drove out there.
Yeah.
Going back slightly, I was saying there's so many opportunities for just stupid things to happen, and I kept thinking I'm hours away from the show now, and nothing dumb has happened this week. And then I nipped out around the corner to catch a Pokemon, and I thought, I'm driving in a blizzard. What am I doing? I'm prone to stupidity. I'm prone to just moronic things happening to me, and I'm driving in a blizzard. But I managed to get all the way there and back without anything going wrong. And I said to my concern, as I got halfway, I thought, if I die here now, I'm basically widowing my wife. My kids are going to be without a dad, and when people ask how did he die, it's going to be he went out in a blizzard to catch a Pokemon. And I'm just going to, I was like, I can't make that be my gravestone. I'll accept anything else except it can't be Pokemon hunting. It just seems mental.
But that's what you spend 90% of your time doing. That's obviously how you're going to die.
It's how it's going to happen. No, but other than that, I don't think I've had any much of a weird week. I mean, I kind of stuck indoors. I worked from home yesterday, so I had absolutely no idea we were trapped yesterday. I got a message. Somebody mentioned to us in a group chat we're in that all the men on my estate were nipping out to dig the road out. So I just turned my phone off, and I was just like, "No, you're all right." I don't know why they were doing it. It was like 6:30 at night. Everyone who would have been at work is home, and then they all decided to just go out and spend their evening digging a big pile of snow. It looked handy this morning when I drove through and it was all clear, but I don't think that was because of them. I think they were just lucky it didn't snow last night. But I'm not being friends with those people, because who does that? Did anyone on your road go out and
chat with them?
Well, it was someone said, "Did I want to join the estate group chat?" On
at which point you say, "No, of course I don't." You bunch of losers.
No,
you're
because
going to ask me to do things. You're going to have street parties and dig out roads together.
I joined because of it was off the air that I told you about that woman who texted everyone saying, "Does anyone know whose car this is on my driveway?" And it was her husband's car. That's the sort of comedy that I get to see when I look in there. It's just idiots. This other woman was moaning that this bush hasn't been cut in like the 6 months she's lived in her house, and then she discovered it was her bush. It's like,
who cuts a bush more often than 6 months?
I don't know. But she was just spouting off about how, people around here are terrible. They don't crop their gardens.
The bushes at the end of my garden get cut every 5 or 6 years when the council send a threatening letter telling me it's time to got cut, and they don't get touched before.
Well, this woman, she was sending the threatening letters. But no, it's how I know that I'm not as weird as maybe everyone thinks, because there's so many Fruit Loops around here. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and I probably got a lot of notifications the other day when I moaned about the potholes on the roads, and everyone lost their mind.
I know. I was like, on the report was like, it took me like 2 hours to get to uni. And then my phone was just like constantly vibrating because I was in uni, and it was just all these people having the biggest moan of their life. So I was just like, oh, for goodness
One bloke, actually, I was saying nothing stupid happened. One bloke has spent, since I posted that on like Tuesday, this bloke has been finding reasons to passive aggressively have a dig at me every time he goes on his computer. And at one point, I just laid into him. I was just like, mate, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, all I said was the council need to fix the roads and do a bit of gritting.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
He has just lost his mind. And I'm like, do you work for the council? And he got to the point where he's sending me messages going like, I don't work for the council. I've just had enough. And I'm like, had enough of what? I just want the roads. But yeah, I suppose it has been a bit of a weird week.
Just been getting threats off random people. But other than that, very standard. It's a week for being threatened. I've had lots of threats this week. People are being very threatening towards me. Someone commented on one of my videos. Something I can't remember exactly what it was. I tweeted it, but it was...
yeah. We'll meet at one of these conventions and we can have a chat.
A chat man to man. Enough's enough. What do you mean enough? I don't know what you... I've never seen your name before. I don't know who you are. I don't want to meet you at a convention.
I want to meet him. I think it'd be great. I said to you, I responded at the time, just tell him to meet us at Hall N7. at Comic-Con in the XL, we'll have a cuddle. And I just thought all you need to do is stand on your own with me slightly further away, and then Pumbaa and the gang slightly further away than that, and we'll just see how much it escalates. If I have to just interject and have a word, job done. But if we have to bring in the army, then we'll do it.
I'd rather have Pumbaa and Logan flanking me as I'm meeting him, rather than just having him a little bit further away, just in case things kick off. I want them there so that things don't kick off.
But you see, the trick is if he hits you once, then you're basically set for life. You could just sue him and live off the income.
Yeah, but I bruise like a peach.
Yeah, but that one bruise will pay your rent for a year. You talk about threats anyway. You're the one who turned up outside my house taking pictures while I was at work. I was fearing for my family. And as we
Kevin, have you met Kevin?
But we slightly discussed it earlier, but I just can't. I can't figure out the angle. I don't know why he was there. There's no angle to it. Normally, I know what he's up to, and I know he's just playing around. But I think it's too far for him to walk for him to have just done it for a laugh. He had to have been up to something. And I just keep waiting for the penny to drop. Like, I realised that my dog isn't here, and I've just not noticed. It's him that's making my axolotl not eat, because I've escalated that now. I've got, as well as the family of shrimp, I've got a family of worms living in lunchbox now.
From the Yorkshire Worm Man.
Yeah, which I thought was you. We touched on that. I forgot we already discussed this. Because I got a text from my wife saying your worms have arrived, and then I got a picture from Kev of him outside my house. And I was just like, this is uncanny. They were minutes apart. So
you don't really think I'm paying the bills by making silly videos on the internet? I'm the Worm Man.
But why Yorkshire?
Because that's where the worms are from, you idiot. Yorkshire worms.
I still feel a little bit like guilty that we live in a stupid world where everyone's been advised not to drive, go out in the cold. It's all risky. People are risking life and limb to get to work. And some poor bloke has had to go to Yorkshire, load my worms into a car, drive them all the way down from Yorkshire to my house, which were like 4.5 hours drive, if that.
What's wrong with the local worms?
Exactly. I just can't believe someone's had to do all that in this weather. That's just treacherous. Well, now I know it's you. I'm not too bothered, but...
and I'll level with you. I didn't get them from Yorkshire. I just got them out of the garden.
That's probably why the axolotl not eating them.
Yeah, it's very fussy axolotl. Only eats the worms if they talk funny.
All the reviews say these are the best worms for axolotls. That axolotls love them, but mine, she's just a little moo bag.
Wow. Perhaps it's a Lancashire axolotl that you've got. Not going to touch these Yorkshire worms.
No.
Perhaps send some Lancashire worms to him.
The thing is, I don't know what to get next. Like,
a new axolotl, by the sounds of it, would be the obvious solution.
She's still alive, and she's just not eating anything.
She's still in the fridge?
No, she's in a tank now, but I've dropped pellets in there, and the shrimp eat the pellets. She somehow just stays alive without eating anything, and the worms are just there in dirt. And I'm thinking, well, I'm out of ideas.
How do you know that it's not eating anything?
Because
it must be eating something. You need to stick a GoPro in there to film it at all times.
This is what I'm thinking. It can't be eating the shrimp because there was only 10, and I would assume she needs more than one shrimp a week to survive. I don't know. Unless it really is that simple, and I've just given her 10 months worth of shrimp.
You need to get a GoPro in there, live stream it. This is going to be Sheepdog's big break.
Axolotl cam, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. Get people to donate for Yorkshire worms and stuff.
I might have to invest in a GoPro. I am fascinated to find out what the hell she's doing. She's probably climbing out the tank and eating dog biscuits or something.
That would be awesome. Or perhaps some friendly local man is breaking in the middle of the day and feeding her.
Just coming in, getting her out.
There you go. Here's your kebab.
It's just baffling. Because I'm petrified I'll just come home and she'll be dead. And I'll be thinking, well, I tried everything. I put you in a fridge. I bought you some shrimp. I mean,
that's the definition of everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like A to Z. Because there's no vets who know what to do with them. I took the other one to a vet and she just started talking gibberish. I'd paid this woman 50 quid and she just started talking about, I can't remember what she was calling it. but like calling it dog's dose and horse dose and fish dose. And I was like, but this is an axolotl. And she just didn't know. Oh, I don't know what she was on about. I still don't. I basically handed her 50 quid and got nowhere and went home.
She probably just thought, this man's just brought a weird fish with legs to see me, a vet. I'm just going to talk nonsense until he goes away.
Pretty much. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It was no better or worse for seeing her. So that's why I'm not taking this one. But...
I'm. Did I mention I'm an axolotl specialist? If you want to bring it to see me, I'll do it for 40 quid, and I'll diagnose. I even do home visits.
But maybe I've just figured it out. They're supposed to live 15 years. I've had it 7 and a bit. So she's having a midlife crisis, isn't she?
So
that's probably it.
Well, there we have.
I cracked it.
Right, is that it for this week's podcast, or are we going to talk about some games?
I'd forgotten we were even doing a podcast, mate.
I got about halfway through that and thought, do we really need to bring games up? Let's face it, I've not played any again. I've not watched any movies. I've not read any comics. I've not watched any TV. I'm literally just here for this bit at the start and to tell everyone where to find us on Facebook. So I can carry on doing this for another 20 minutes if you want. Or you lot can talk about some games while I play Football Manager.
I got movies.
What movies?
I thought you had movies.
No, we had. I've bought the Blu-rays for Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. We were going to watch them 2 nights ago, but then the boiler broke, so we decided to just spend the evening shivering instead.
Well, Thor would have probably made you feel quite warm inside.
I was so cold, though.
It was 12 degrees in our house the other night when the heating wasn't working. It was ridiculous.
I considered looking around my house for the 4 or 5 electric heaters that I've got, but I couldn't remember exactly where they were, so I didn't text you.
I considered moving my oil-filled radiator that keeps my computer warm in the garage into the house, but then thought, nah, my computer, I'll make it through the night. I don't know if my computer will survive -4. So I left
understand computers work better when they're cold, yeah?
Not frozen, though.
Yeah, like if you can keep a computer at like -20, it'll, crack around.
Don't worry, I and my comics are out here as well. So
there's no water in your computer, Kev. I don't want to alarm you. Your process isn't like liquid.
I'm always spilling drinks over my computer.
Yeah. Well, this would probably be a chance to let it freeze and then smash the ice out of them.
Well, there's also my Xbox and my
would
TV,
run better cold.
My comics and my pop vinyls. I didn't want any of this to get too cold, so I left the radiator out here and just shivered.
You're annoying. That could have kept me warm.
It kept my computer warm.
It doesn't need to be warm.
It likes to be warm, though.
On a gaming note, I got the Xbox Game Pass trial the other day, thinking I actually wanted. I think I might have mentioned in passing actually that I tried to get. I assumed that it went without saying it'd probably have Plants vs Zombies on that because it has. Yeah,
that's
and
on
I know
EA Access, though, isn't it?
But it's not, which is annoying. It's only got
on EA Access.
No, it's not on EA Access. What I'm saying, it's got the Garden Warfare one on there, but not the.
You want the original? Get the original Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah, and that's so. I just assumed it's got old games on it. It'll have that on it, but it had occurred to me first. I checked EA Access first, but I was like, maybe it'll be on this. There's not much reason to get this. I thought there would be. I was like, over 100 games. That's amazing. But is it just early days or is this their plan?
It's because you lived through it. It's for people who didn't have an Xbox 360 and didn't play those games to go back and have a chance to go through all these old games.
You say that, but the games that I did play briefly, I didn't put much time into them because I was just like, I haven't really got the energy for this. Abe's Odyssey, that PlayStation 1 classic, and Alex Kidd in Miracle World, which I downloaded going, I'll show this to Ollie. You know, I played this when I was 5.
Alex the Kid.
Put it on and was just like, no, I feel like I'm having a migraine just hearing the music. So I turned it straight off. I tried showing him Banjo-Kazooie. He was like, no, not interested, which surprised me a little bit. But it's just loads of ancient games that were never on the Xbox.
Well,
I might go back to Alex Kidd and try and complete it. Same with Abe's Odyssey, but I don't know. It's not. Are they going to expand this?
Well, there we go. So going forward now on the Games Pass, every Microsoft game, everything that Microsoft publishes, you know what I mean, is on there day one. So Sea of Thieves will be on there, Crackdown 3 will be on there, State of Decay 2 will be on there, Forza games going forward, Gears games, Halo, all be on there day one.
Even the new ones, you're saying?
Yeah, that's saying brand new games. Oh,
right.
That are only Microsoft. Though.
Oh yeah, Microsoft games. Yeah,
that's all still decent, man.
It's real tempting because it's like what $7.99 a month, and you're getting games day and date when they come out, £40 games for when they come out, same day, and you can just cancel it at any time when you're done with the game. Or you just like I say, it just keeps getting better and better. This service it's becoming the Netflix for games.
Yeah, I can live with that. Then I mean, it's just don't get me wrong as well. There were some grown-up games on there that I was obviously not going to put on for my son.
Yeah, there's loads.
I'm just having a look through now, and there's some on there that you have to still pay for with the pass, which seems odd.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Like Resident Evil Revelations 383 with game. I know it's not the end of the world. It's only £4.
That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's not on the.
It says with Game Pass, it's £4.79 normal.
Maybe it's not actually on the Game Pass. Maybe you just get a discount from a game.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like the first one's free with Game Pass, and then I get you.
More logical
Gateway drug type thing.
Yeah.
It's got potential, but I was in a stick trying to entertain my son, and was a little bit like, okay, there is nothing on here that's really suitable. I mean, the family section, and it all just like cack.
Yeah. It has the potential to in a way, if it takes off well, it's revolutionised the way you buy games or what have you.
We're going to need that middleman that just sits above all of the different vendors, though, aren't we, to try and mix it up a bit? Because I don't know how it's going to be frustrating if we have to pay for the Microsoft one, the Sony one, the EA one, the whatever.
Well, is it though?
I suppose if you're only paying £7 for each one
for each one a month, that's like what 100 and even say it was £10 a month. That's £120 a year. That's the price of 3 full price games for a year.
Yeah, I suppose.
And if we go straight onto the systems, day and date as they come out, they kind of pay for themselves.
I just kind of think I wouldn't want to spend like £40 or £50 to go on 5 different ones, though.
But just like with TV, a winner would emerge eventually, and the smaller ones would start to die off, and they'd just go on to the other platform. Netflix didn't launch as the dominant service; it killed other services off along the way, and then became bigger and bigger, and that's when everything started. If you remember Netflix from sort of 4 or 5 years ago, there wasn't much on it. I remember getting it, watching the one thing I wanted to watch, and then cancelling it because I just couldn't find anything else on there to watch. Whereas now, the thought of a home in the UK not having Netflix, that's a bit mental. Why would you not have Netflix? That's where all the TV is.
Do you know what's... I don't mean to leap onto TV, but you just reminded me of what's confusing me, and it links to your point. Because Netflix has become so popular, I'm getting confused that DC have brought out their own TV program platform that's got a Titans program on it, a bit like the Flashverse programs, Arrowverse programs, sorry. They've got like a proper live action Teen Titans program, or Titans Force program. I don't know what it is. It stars Robin and the gang. And MGM announced out of the blue, I don't know how I missed this, but they brought out their own platform that hosts a program called Stargate Origins, which is like a full Stargate program that have just brought out of nowhere. And obviously, it's the sort of thing I assume I should know about and I should be fully aware of, but it completely passed me by. And it's all on their own proprietary, closed off platform that you have to subscribe to. And both those shows look like they've spent a lot of money on them, which just seems mental when you consider they're not on Netflix, they're not on Amazon. So it's almost like it's going the other way of what you just said. Almost, it's like everyone's now making their own little ones.
Yeah, but they'll fail, and then they'll end up on Netflix or Amazon.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's obvious they're going to fail, which makes me wonder why the hell they're doing it.
Because they're big businesses who feel like they should dip their toe in this streaming water that they hear is so exciting and revolutionary. Ooh, let's do this Netflix thing. And then when they realise they can't, they'll just go on Netflix.
I was going to say, I suppose they can't go wrong, can they? Because it'll just, they'll just flog it for 50 mil or whatever.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I've just covered off my gaming for the week, really. Power Banana, I suppose.
Anna, take it away.
What have I played? Played some Division today.
Division?
Yeah. Just
It's
put that in.
still going, that. It's still quite...
Well, they announced that they had 20 million viewers in the pack because it came out 2 years ago.
Right.
February, I think. So, like a week ago.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, it's a 2-year-old game. And still is populated, I guess.
Does that mean 20 million people playing it now or 20 million people have had a go? Like I
had a go, I think.
Yeah, I had a go for 20 minutes. I wouldn't count myself as a player. I would like to officially withdraw myself from that number.
Oh, so you want them to have like 19 million?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't want them including me as a statistic. Their game's trash.
It's not trash at all. You just didn't get it or liked it, which is fine. No, you don't have to like everything. So I had a level 5 character, so I was just going around doing like the first areas, doing like what was it? Like a center to go and get the medical woman and just doing bits and bobs. Because like the first 5 levels you do on a different island. You do it on like a little starter island. So when you're in New York, like a proper city, then you're at level 5, so you're not starting from 0 and you have a bit of equipment. Right. So that's kind of cool. And then I got a code for a platform game called Shiny. Yeah, it's a platform game. It's by an indie developer. My phone is dead, so I can't see what notes are because it died. But it's just something. I'm not quite sure what was going on in the story because there was no voice acting or there was no subtitles. It was just a video, and it's just a side-scrolling platformer, and you have to re-energize little other robots that have like died down or something. You have like electrical power. I played a few levels of that. It's just it's a platformy game.
Yeah.
With some jumping that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, but you soon get the hang of it, like where to press it. Because like some platform games, you can get like right to the edge and you're still stood on there because like a sprite or like where the hitbox is slightly on the thing. But this is like if you there's difference in the different platforms, which is annoying. But you soon get to it, and you have like rocks falling on you, and like you run down a platform, and it ends suddenly. You're like, "Oh, I didn't see that," because it was like off screen and stuff. But it was fine. And then today, well, just before the show, I put in Wolfenstein, the Colossus. Is it just the Colossus?
New Colossus, second one.
Yeah, so I've played it once, and I played a lot of it, and I lost my PlayStation Plus. I loaded it again, and I lost my save because it was on the cloud. Right. So I started it again, and then because I was trying to follow this tutorial to get my old save back, I deleted the save that I had, so now I'm starting again from the start. I want to finish this game because I loved the first one. I loved the DLC, the Old Blood.
Yes.
I just want to get through it. But I turned it on and there was like a 37 gig patch, and I've cancelled that. I thought, I can't be doing the patch. The game was fine when it came out. I didn't find any bugs or anything. So I'll let that go overnight. But at the moment, I just wanted to get it going. and play it again, and then I guess I'll just load the thing up, load it overnight, and see what that does. I guess it's just graphical, whatnot, and stuff.
Yeah, I imagine.
But like this week's just been a bit blah.
Yeah.
Because of the snow, I've been more excited about playing outside in it with the dog than playing games because dogs is mental. And plus I've got uni work and so not a lot of gaming for me. Like Monster Hunter, I don't think I'm going to go back to that. Shadow of the Colossus, I don't think I'll go back to that at the moment. I just don't want to, but I do want Far Cry 5.
Yes.
And it's now March. It is out. Like the first, because of the way
3
Easter
weeks?
falls, I get an extra week. My holiday is different to the children, so I get a week when they're still at school, and then they get a week when I'm back at uni. So that Tuesday that I have the first Tuesday off, I'm just going to buy it, and I'm going to play it all week, and then the next week I'll just do some work. So I'm going to try and knock a game out in a week. Don't think I will, but I'm going to try because I like the setting and I liked what I played at EGX, even though you two didn't.
See, I didn't like it, but I still pre-ordered it. I was like, I'll get used to it. It's fine.
Yeah, so that's coming out, and then we've had like God of War's coming out in May?
No,
and
April.
Then
28th,
April, and
like
then on the 25th of May, I think we've got Detroit coming out. So we've got 3 good games in the next couple of months, 3 months, which I am personally happy about because it gets this time of the year and it's just like not anything I want to play. And these 3 games are all games I want to play. So, and the other game is out, that 2-player game is out like it's like 3 days out before Far Cry 5. So
I'll be getting that one.
Kev's going to have a lot of gaming to do.
Yeah.
We'll stream that one.
We'll
figure out a way to. Is it split screen or will we be on different machines?
It's all on the
different machines, as long
you're on
like
different machines, but you both occupy the same screen, sort of thing.
Yeah, you don't even need 2 games. You just have the 1 game.
Yeah,
and then you play it on 2 different machines.
Interesting. That'll definitely. I guess we'll stream that over the course of a few nights or something, depending on how long it is. It'll be lots of fun.
It will be lots of fun.
Splendid. Is that it for games then?
No. Yeah, that.
Oh, is Pav still going?
Me.
You got some, Pav?
Yeah. I'm the same as Anna in a sense. I feel like I've not played a lot this week. I just set up this recording and what have you. And I came to write down my actual list of games and what have you. I was like, what have I done this week? I feel like I've played loads, and I looked at my list now. I've played about 2 hours worth of games. If that, it seems bonkers this week. I don't know what I've done. My week has just disappeared from me. Let's start with what I bought. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane
Trilogy.
Trilogy.
Why? It's so hard.
I like the game, yeah, and I remember it is stupidly difficult.
Yeah.
So I played, I think, the first 2 worlds, I think, of that. And then I had enough of like nearly snapping my controller and swearing at a cartoony character. I do not remember this game being this difficult, and I don't remember getting this frustrated at the game, but I must have done it at some point. It was nostalgic but incredibly frustrating at the same time. So I played that. It looked nice. It looked very nice indeed. Did like the look of it, so I might continue playing it because I did like. I don't think I played the second one. I know I played 3 because 3 had that the motorbike levels and what have you. I remember that one quite a lot. I think I completed that one, so I strive to get to 3 at least and start playing that one again. What else have I played? I've gone back to Monster Hunter again. I had a week off last week of Monster Hunter because Dark Souls was taking up my time. But this week I started playing Dark Souls. Really intention to carry on playing Dark Souls this week, and then I died and lost all my souls, and then never went back to it. I went, right, I'm done. Just died, and I went, right, I can't. I'm not doing this now. I just got so far in that game, and then died, and I was like, I'm not going back through that maze of people to get me souls back now. Just turned it off. I never went back to it this week. So I went back to Monster Hunter World, and I got to the... Did you get to the Zora Magdaros fight?
Possibly. I think it was just before that.
Where you fight the big old lava monster thing, and you're on its back.
I was like just before that.
Yeah, well, you do that again towards... I feel like there's an end game type thing where you then go to the next level of, like, I think it's like some like master rank or something like that, or there's a higher rank than what you are.
Yeah,
so it's like sort of New Game Plus where there's new monsters and stuff like that. So I've pretty much finished like the main thing of dealing with this Zora Magdaros. And you do that same stupid quest again where you jump on its back, you hack at the little lava pod things, and then another monster turns up and you beat him, and then you go onto the platforms and you shoot cannons at him for 20 minutes and shoot ballistas at him, and it is the worst part of that game. It is the worst part of that game. The happiest I was fighting the actual monster on its back, because it was actually that's how Monster Hunter was played. It was just like a regular monster fight. It wasn't this like. It felt like a quick time event type thing where I'm just running back and forth with cannonballs, slowly shoveling along to this cannon, putting it in, shooting it, run back, pick the ball up and run back again. That is the worst part of the game. I was so annoyed because it just kept. There's no indication of how much damage I'm doing. And occasionally the NPCs go, "Oh, that's how you did. That's it. That's a good." And so you think, "Oh, okay, it must be nearly done now." No, like I say, 20 minutes doing that, just running back and forth with cannonballs until it gets to low enough that you can use like the big powerful weapon that they've got to drive it away, and it's like a big drill sort of thing that sort of drills into it and it spooks it off and it runs off into the ocean. And that's. I feel like I did that for a fair amount of time. I did before I did that, because that's literally the final bit that I did this week. But before that, I did two of the wyverns, two big monsters, the Diablos and the Rathalos. And they were difficult. I had to have someone to come in and help me with that, because they are mean monsters that literally just wipe you out with one go. I got schooled again on armor sets and stuff like that, because apparently I don't have good armor sets. I just go, "Oh, that looks nice." I need to look at stats and stuff, because it's all stats and stuff that count towards I had apparently no defense on this armor. It was just aesthetically pleasing rather than doing its job. So I had to get some new gear and what have you and do that. I don't know. Once I'm playing Monster Hunter, I don't mind playing it. It's getting to play Monster Hunter that I find the struggle. It's like I can't be bothered booting it up, doing it all, and it's the thought of playing Monster Hunter doesn't get me wanting to play it like other games do. I don't like go away thinking about what I've done in Monster Hunter, and I want to get back to doing more of it again. But once I'm on it, I'm fine. It's just getting me into the rhythm and getting me going on it that is what I'm struggling with. So I don't know how long I'll keep playing for it. I probably will keep playing it for a little bit longer, because the Horizon Zero Dawn armor came out on Wednesday, I think.
Okay.
So I kind of want that now, because it turns your character into Aloy when you get it. So your character becomes
cool.
Aloy. So I'm like, yeah, I kind of need to get that now. But apparently it's Hunter rank 11 and I'm 7.
Oh gosh.
And based on what I've seen, this quest is out for 2 weeks. Which is annoying. I'm like, I can't get to that, I really don't think I can get to that. But I was also told that at a certain point, all these quests will become open to them at the end of the month. I think they said the end of the month. The Palico Watcher gear and the Aloy armor set and the Ryu Street Fighter set, which is only available to Street Fighter people who own Street Fighter at the minute. You can get Ryu in the game. That becomes a quest that you can open after a month or so. So
Okay.
I'm more optimistic now. I'm not as bothered about rushing to get this armor set because I know I will get it eventually. So I kind of like the game. I do enjoy it when in places, but by God, is it hard to get into and the systems and stuff like that. Oh. But that's about it. That is all I've played. She's bonkers, really. I feel like I've played loads of stuff and I haven't.
You're all a massive disappointment.
I know. Sorry.
Wow. I invented a game this week that I've been playing. Well, I didn't invent it, but I've been playing with my Alexa and Siri and getting them to talk to each other. That was a fun game.
Did he actually talk to each
I
other?
watched your live stream and you kept making mine go off.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll make people's go off now while they're listening. She just chimed in there because I said her name. Yeah,
because you said Alexa.
Yeah, made her just. She had to have get a little something to say in there. She loves running her mouth.
Because we didn't say "Hey Siri."
I'm glad I'm wearing a set of headphones. Let's hope all our listeners are too, so that you haven't. Oh, there you go. Someone. But now I want a Google Home, but Anna won't let me get one. Because apparently, having two of these things is enough.
Is it Samsung's that's called Barnaby or something like that?
Bixby.
Bixby, that's it.
Turn on Cortana as well on my TV.
She's an idiot. That's my idiot.
But then I could have. It would be like I've got work colleagues if I have all these people to just chat with throughout the day. I just need to step up the AI just a little bit more.
They need to add an Xbox app to Alexa so I can say, "Hey Alexa, tell Cortana to turn the telly off." Because with Cortana, I'm like, "Hey Cortana, turn off," and then she just sits there, going, "I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't know what's going on." And I'm like, "Turn off."
Sounds about as smart as my GoPro, which is supposed to be voice controlled, but basically, if you ever say the word GoPro, it just turns off. You can't do anything else. It just hears GoPro and turns off, stops everything that it's doing. It's a piece of junk.
Every so often, I'm reminded of that night when you got your Xbox and you basically convinced Anna that the reason it wasn't was because I spoke, and she's still angry at me, even though that's not how it works. And I can't reason with her that that's not how it works. She's angry that I somehow broke it when that's not how it works. And
you did break it. It was your fault.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that. But I remember it every now and again. It didn't listen to you because it's rubbish. It doesn't.
But you after you were always going, "Oh, I come down every morning and I tell the Xbox to turn on."
If it's just me in the room,
to work.
If it's just me in the room, it is all right. And I've got a habit now of I'll turn the telly off so it's silent, and then I'll say, "Hey Cortana, turn off," and then I just kind of wait and go yes, and then I'll wait and go yes, and then it turns off, and I've figured out its timings. But if there's people in the room, or like my kids have realised that if they're watching something and they're being naughty, and I go, "Hey Cortana, pause," they start going so that she can't hear and won't do what I've asked, and I'm like, "Shut up, Cortana, pause, shut up, you be quiet." And we end up fighting. So it's poorly thought out, really. No one's ever playing games or watching TV in silence, and it can't hear over the sounds.
No.
Plus, I have to talk in an unnatural voice.
You talk in an unnatural voice anyway.
Alexa's great though. Microsoft need to release an Alexa app.
Yeah.
It'll be the same thing. Whichever one wins will be the one. Alexa's the one I've got my money on, I think.
Splendid. So have we seen any movies or TV shows this week, then, boys and girls?
Yeah.
What have you seen?
I've watched the mentioned early on for Ragnarok.
If you spoil it for me, I'll break your eyes.
I love that film. I want to watch it again.
It's really good.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to watching it again because I thought it was really funny when I watched it in the cinemas, and it is. It's a really funny film, and it's a weird film. It's a weird film.
And again, not going to spoil it for Kev. There is a point in the film that I can't remember. I think that I was so busy enjoying some bits of it that I don't know how certain parts of the story actually resolved, and so I need to watch it again because I don't remember, and I don't think I actually acknowledged how it happened. But Yeah, that's their peak, I think. So I mean, Guardians 2 was great. You know, I think Thor Ragnarok had everything. They threw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah. I'm unsure how Kev's going to take it. I don't know.
Why would I not like it?
I don't know. It's a weird kind of funny for me. Have you've not seen?
Hopefully, hopefully, definitely by next week's show, we'll have seen it because I kind of want to flog the Blu-rays. That I bought them with a view to they'll come, we'll watch them, I'll sell them again quickly, while they're still at a reasonable price. And then everything went wrong, and we haven't been able to watch them, and they've been here nearly a week now. But we do need to watch it. We'll certainly watch Doctor Strange tomorrow, I guess, and then fit Thor in Tuesday or Wednesday. So I suppose
I think you'll like one over the other, and I can't decide which way you will sit on them.
Wow.
Whether you will go, I preferred Doctor Strange or I preferred Thor Ragnarok. I can't decide which way you will swing on it.
Well, let's roll the 7-sided dice, and we'll see. The dice says 3.
Okay.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Okay then. Fair enough.
What else have we been watching then?
I am further on Weeds. It is fast becoming one of the best up there shows. I can't believe how good it is, and no one I know had ever talked about it before you did. I mentioned at work I was watching it, and Angry John was like, "Oh, I love Weeds. It's fantastic. It's a great program. All of this." And I'm thinking, well, how have you watched all 8 seasons and never once mentioned it in conversation?
Because I think it's. Here we go. Here's my controversial conversation for the week. I think it's unconscious sexism because it's a female lead. We subconsciously think it's a bit of a girly show. I won't talk about that one. I'll talk about Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or Breaking Bad, these manly shows. But because this is a female lead, it doesn't get the same.
I don't know. Orange is the New Black gets a lot of talk. I only watched that because everyone was going on about it at work. I know what you're saying, though.
That's because you caught that while it was on TV.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I explained it to somebody earlier, funnily enough, and he went, "That sounds a lot like another program." And I was like, "I know it's Breaking Bad, but this is older than Breaking Bad, I think, and or about the same."
It certainly started before Breaking Bad did. I imagine they finished fairly close together because I don't know. We'll see. They certainly would have overlapped.
Yeah. But I said to him it's well worth a watch and he should go and do it, so he's going to check it out. I don't know whether it's just happening to go through a bit of because certain shows pop up on Netflix and go through a bit of everyone's watching them at the same time, and that seems to have happened. Like you mentioned it, and loads of people are telling me they're watching it, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Because of my influence on the world.
That must be it. But that End of the Effing World was... The End of the Effing World was old, wasn't it? It wasn't a new program, but
it wasn't that old. It was only like 3 months old, wasn't it?
Really? I thought it'd been out.
No, it was on Channel 4 in like October, November time.
Right. I thought it was on Channel 4 in like 2015 or something. Okay.
No.
What else was there? I keep telling my colleague that he should watch certain programs on there, and I think he's at a point now where the 3 or 4 shows I've told him to watch have all got 8 to 12 to 15 seasons or whatever, and he's never going to finish them. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is the one I want people to watch because that's 12 seasons of gold, that is.
Which I don't know if my Netflix is just broken, but I still haven't seen any new episodes on there for about 3 years of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm on about season 8, and it doesn't go beyond that on my Netflix.
That doesn't make any sense. It's on 12.
I think you're watching it by magic.
That's bizarre. Are you sure you don't have to click into it and look?
I don't know. I'm not. I'll be level with you, Sheepdog. I'm not trying that hard.
You probably looked in the break between 8 and 9, and that was.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're not likely to do another one anytime soon because Dennis from it is he's filming something else, so he's still going to come back and do it, but it's like it's not. Yeah, it's not a priority while they do this other stuff, which seems a bit mad, but fingers crossed.
Splendid. What else have we got then? Anna, what have you been watching?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Splendid.
Snow falling. Go on,
Yeah.
Pat.
I've got something. I just remembered. I've got something.
Go on then, little fella.
I watched Elimination Chamber.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah.
I'm back in.
Hey.
You watched what?
Wrestling.
Oh.
Anna watched some wrestling earlier.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't. I put it on because you were there.
I'd already seen it. That was just off SmackDown this week.
You could have said.
Well, I was just letting you watch it.
I would have turned it off
You
otherwise.
might caught.
But
That's later in a few weeks.
so you're properly back in, are you? We're
Yeah.
gonna have to have a wrestling segment. Is it going to be
Maybe,
the
'cause
fifth spoke to the MGP wheel?
I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. I just watch like the top 10 moments of each one on
that's all you
YouTube the
need.
day
Just
after.
watch it on YouTube.
I get the whole
If you
gist
commit
of
to committing to watch them all, you have to sit through all the trash, and it's 5 hours a week of watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Which, unless you sat in your garage playing Football Manager all day, no one has time for.
Yeah. I only realised watching Elimination Chamber about halfway through. I went, "Oh, this is just the Raw one, isn't it?
It is.
This is just the Raw one, and then the Fastlane's the SmackDown one, is it? I presume."
It is. It's the last time they're doing that, though. After
Is
WrestleMania,
it?
they're going back to joint pay-per-views again.
What, 6-hour shows?
Well, I don't know how they're going to do it because there's so many champions. There'll have to be lots of championship matches on each one, I guess. But it'll mean you don't have some of the terrible matches that were on Elimination Chamber, like Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy, which was just a bit. What's happening here?
It's a bit bland, wasn't it?
Get that stuff back on Raw and just have the cool stuff on the pay-per-views.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
basically, just give me 3 hours of Braun Strowman. That's all I need.
He's a monster, isn't he?
He's the best thing that's happened to wrestling in the last 10 years. He's brilliant.
He's all right, him. He's all right. I don't mind him.
Kev, I need you to find a bar in Peterborough that airs these live at night and then I'll get into it. The only time I've enjoyed wrestling as an adult was in a walkabout in Birmingham. I can't really enjoy it sober without people shouting and screaming around me.
You don't need a bar. You're never sober at home. Just
but there's
after the podcast.
There's going to be nobody there screaming at the TV. I kind of just enjoyed the crowd. It's the same at the football. I didn't really follow what was going on after time at that, but I knew from the crowd that I should be booing or cursing and stuff like that. And yeah, it was good watching wrestling in that atmosphere. I tried watching it on my own when you were getting into it before, and I don't really know anything about it.
Well, don't worry. Me and Pab will teach you on our new weekly segment.
Yeah,
Kev
I
and
don't
Pab
know what
about
it is.
wrestling.
Alexa Bliss is growing on me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. She seems all right.
Wonder why that is,
all right.
Pab. I wonder why Alexa Bliss is growing on you.
I don't know. I just think she's just. I don't know. I like the sassy attitude. I don't know.
Oh, they're two
It
big
amuses me.
reasons.
What? No.
What?
I don't know. Her and Strowman, they've been doing the mixed match challenge, aren't they, as well?
They are. They're Team Little Big.
Team
It's been
Little
good.
Big.
And
Yeah, because she's 5 feet tall and he's about 6'10". It's
Yeah.
quite.
No, you and Anna, those what I was saying.
Yeah.
Team Little Big.
yeah, and
And it, I was about to say something, but I don't think I can get away with
Don't.
saying it without being inappropriate, so I'm not
Good.
gonna.
don't.
I was going to make a comment about Kev's little pieces and Anna's big pieces, and then thought,
So you did it anyway.
I found a way to word it without being too offensive.
What else? What do you make of this Ronda Rousey thing? I don't.
It's fine.
Is it?
It's bringing new eyes to the product. That's
It
the
is.
important
Money,
thing.
innit?
It is, but she's not good on the mic or anything, is she? Let's be honest.
No, but as soon as they got her off the microphone and just being an angry lady who can beat men up, that was pretty cool.
So she's going to be like Brock Lesnar, isn't she? Just
Yeah, exactly.
brought out for the big events and just suplexing people all over the show. So.
And I mean, it was on BBC Sport website the next day. So
yeah, sure, so.
the fact that stuff like that's happening means even if she's not actually very good at it, which at the moment she's not, but she's just got a WWE B grade pay-per-view on the BBC Sport headlines on a Monday morning, which is completely unheard of. So for that reason, it's all good.
And have they just made Kurt Angle into a buffoon now?
Yeah, because he's an old drug addict lunatic.
I don't know why he was there. He just stood there and he just started mouthing off. And then I watched the bit on Raw the day after, and he just stood there and he gets clobbered by Triple H. That made me chuckle. That did make me chuckle. Oh,
but he'll be in the match at WrestleMania. I imagine he'll be Rousey's partner against Steph and Triple H.
Is that what's happening?
I think that's what's happening.
I thought she was going to be challenging for the title or something, but she's not going to get a title match. She said that, didn't she?
Yeah, she'll be in a match with Stephanie.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, you're right.
So they'll have to put some wrestlers in as well.
Anyway,
that concludes Wrestle Corner.
For comics, Marvel have just announced Infinity Countdown, which is yet another story about the Infinity Stones. Yeah, it's all like the 6 most powerful objects in the Marvel Universe. I'm like, oh, here we go. Who will wield them? From the lowest streets to the farthest flungs of the universe. And it's just like, they need a new angle, surely. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Well, they're not going to do a new angle this year, are they? The word Infinity is going to be everywhere for the 2 years now at Marvel.
Yeah, I suppose.
Of the movies.
You see how close that is?
Yeah, it's like next month, isn't it?
Oh man,
that's bonkers.
Yeah, that's
why I got the Blu-rays now. I need to get caught up before that comes out.
You do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I need to prepare to see that as soon as because I can't wait.
Oh, I've just realised.
What?
I saw Black Panther. I did see Black Panther last weekend.
Good work, little fella.
It's good. It was really good.
I know.
I don't know when. It's not suitable for kids, I assume, because the past few haven't really been.
I think it would be pretty boring for kids. I don't think it's particularly unsuitable, but it's not a kids' film.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Might go see it on my own.
Yeah.
See how my wife feels about that. I mean, I wasn't being flippant. I reckon she didn't care too much. It was a struggle getting to see Doctor Strange. Guardians of the Galaxy was a struggle, so I'm kind of like, I'll see what she thinks about this one. If she hasn't heard of them, she's very much like, I'll see what she says. I mean, about going over what Kev said already, any particular bits you thought were great, or?
I liked a lot of the. I didn't realise that they're like advanced. They're an advanced civilization, but like seriously advanced civilization.
Mm.
There's like hundreds of years advanced on us, on the rest of the world, and they've got all the technology and stuff. There's some cool tech in that story and what have you. And
I imagine it will all be crucial for the Infinity War.
Yeah,
I love how they'll just be like, "This is my anti-Infinity Gem shield." Yeah, I just have had it lying around for ages, and it won't be important later.
Just on the topic of Infinity War for a second, I've just got on the Wikipedia page to see when it's out.
Yeah,
and goodness me, I have never seen so many stars of a movie on a Wikipedia page. There must be, under starring, there must be 40 names.
Wow.
It is ridiculous how many people are in this movie.
Yeah.
Michonne's in it.
Really? Who does she play?
She's in Black Panther.
Oh, right, okay.
So
I thought she was. I thought I recognised her. I thought, that makes
she's
sense.
in Infinity War. So obviously it's more than just Black Panther himself getting stuck in. But Gwyneth Paltrow's in it, so they're even bringing in the minor characters from the individual movies.
Well, she was in the end of Spider-Man.
Is this is? I mean, I don't know why you said Gwyneth Paltrow, and I suddenly thought of this. But are the people from Shield going to be in it? Do you think?
No.
Oh,
no.
Thanks,
No.
It seems odd that they wouldn't be in any way, shape, or form.
They said it in the future. They move into the future with it.
They are in the future in the show at the moment, but they're about like in the next 2 weeks. They're probably going back to the present to try and stop the future from happening.
I don't know. They might do. You might be surprised, but
out of all of them, Coulson seems like he should be.
It'd
in
only
it
be
somewhere.
Coulson if it was.
Yeah, out of very, very long stretch, I'd have Daisy in it, just because Quake is like a big deal in Shield. So, But I was kind of hoping we'd have it range like from Daredevil up. I thought that'd be cool if it was like Daredevil and all of those, the Defenders, and then Shield, and then all Ant-Man, and all the way up to Guardians of the Galaxy. If they somehow fitted both of them into the two films, then that'd be like the most ridiculously wide scope imaginable, wouldn't it?
Looking at this, it's just everybody who's ever been in a Marvel.
Oh yeah,
in this.
Yep.
Absolutely everybody.
I wonder how much they must have spent.
Oh yeah,
this has got to have been one of the most expensive films ever made, surely.
Probably.
Does it have a budget on it? It doesn't show.
I'm looking at
I'm
looking at Wikipedia. Maybe that's not until like after it's happened.
Yeah, probably won't released until.
I hope it's good. It almost seems like it's too big to be bad.
It could.
I think I like it regardless.
I don't know.
I'm a bit confused.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just a bit weird that they have quite so many.
I'm confused by the premise. This is 4 years after the events of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The Avengers have been torn apart following the events of Captain America Civil War. So I didn't seem clear to me that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was set 4 years before.
I don't know.
Avengers.
It doesn't really tie in at all, though, does it? So
no, it doesn't.
That could have been happening 20 years ago or 20 years in the future.
I suppose you're right. I think what's confusing me is that, okay, no. Interesting. I wonder what they'll do then. I know it is essentially the Avengers team up film. It's just that, isn't it? Basically, I guess a lot of it will be cameos, wouldn't it?
I assume the Guardians of the Galaxy turn up in the last scene. And
no, not based on set shots and stuff like that. They're like Iron Man, Star-Lord, and Spider-Man are in the same shot.
But that could be from part 2.
There isn't a part 2.
I thought there was two. I thought this was a 2-part movie.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
When did that happen?
Last year.
Ages ago, yeah.
Yeah, no one tells me anything.
It's another film though. It's not a part 2.
Oh, okay.
So
Kevin, we did watch TV.
Oh.
We watched The Walking Dead.
Here we go. Controversial.
No, you didn't. Well, not live, you didn't anyway, because I was watching Kev's feed because I basically said to my wife, I'll give this. Well, I didn't even say that. I said, I'm not watching it. It's rubbish. And then it started up and I was like, see, it's rubbish. Because it was rubbish.
What, the stream or Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead. Kev's stream was excellent. Kev's stream was superb.
No, we watched it on Tuesday. But I wanted to see what was going to happen.
Did you not find it absolute dog poo that a character can last that long without turning when pretty much every other person who's ever been turned in the entire universe turns within like 30 seconds?
They didn't turn within 30 seconds, though.
Mate, people dying.
They had an entire bus journey with one of them just a bit poorly in like season 2.
It's just stupid how plot armor makes. I mean, I know it's whatever, but that was just silly. I suppose actually I'm forgetting that he wasn't like decapitated, but it was just shite. Don't like it. I can confirm that I'm like 100% broken from it now because it started. I wasn't interested. I put the headphones in. I'm saying it was shite. I don't really know what happened that much in the episode. I was just annoyed by their stupid montages. I don't know who told them that montages were cool. I reckon they watched Breaking Bad, where they had like a 10-minute scene of him just packaging up drugs and thought we should do that, but with ridiculously crap close-ups on characters from The Walking Dead. Pointless.
Certainly someone needs to just sit them down and just beat them over the head with the word chronological order over and over again. Just allow these TV shows to make some sense, please.
Yeah.
Because half the time I sat there actually concentrating on the episode, and for half of the episode I didn't know what order things were happening in because obviously it's not the order they're showing it. I didn't know where everyone was. I didn't know if they were in the same place or in other places. I can't work out what's going on. And bearing in mind, I've read the comics, I've watched all the shows, and I'm struggling to keep up with what's going on in this. How on earth must a casual viewer be feeling at this point? There can't be any left watching this show now, surely.
It's apparently that was the worst rated for TV viewings out of all the what's it called, like mid-season premieres of The Walking Dead ever.
It beat the Olympics.
Yeah, but it's the Winter Olympics, isn't it? It's not hard. Did you? This is mainly aimed at Kev. So I wasn't listening, but I saw the little girl in the garden in the walking around the community, and she walks up to somebody and he's like, "Oh, hello, darling, how you doing?" And Claire was like, "Well, what?" And and I kind of said to her, because she kind of drew my attention to it, I was just like, I'm actually even more annoyed now that they've done that in the way they've done it, because I think the whole point of this story is that you're not supposed to see that coming, are you? Do you know what I mean?
But that was Carl's dream sequence, wasn't it? It wasn't a flash forward. That was what Carl was hoping for as he was dying. And I imagine they've shown us that now because it's never going to happen, and Rick's just going to go nutso and kill everyone. I imagine that was just a little nod to the comic readers of, here you go, here's this thing in the comics that you think is quite cool, because you ain't ever seeing it in the TV show because we're going in a different direction.
Oh, they're so bad, then that's terrible. I mean, when they had the whole slogan of "Kill Negan" in their promos, it was doing my head in, because it's just like, you're ruining this story, you're killing it, and it sucks.
Yeah. I think I think they're. I don't know how many more seasons they're renewed for. It feels like they're coming to a conclusion. I don't see this lasting more than another year, maybe 2.
Yeah, I was going to ask how long do you think they've got left? Because the declining numbers are going to dictate where this goes, realistically.
Apparently, it still gets 8 million viewers.
Yeah, but based on what, though? I mean, surely it would probably double that 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, probably. What's weird, I was reading about this the other day, not like purposefully, it was just an article popped up, and it was talking about how whilst that was its worst premiere, it still gets 8 mil, which is decent these days. But it was saying like the finale of Porridge, I think it was Porridge, had like 150 million viewers. And like EastEnders used to get like 90 million viewers. I honest to God think that actually what we're probably learning from these stats is that they weren't very good at measuring viewers back in them days, and maybe they're a bit better at it now. But then I also don't know whether.
Go on.
Well, I was going to say, I also don't know whether they're just counting this off Nielsen people in America, which is I hate that system. It's like they've got 100,000 people with TVs that are monitored by a little device, and then they use that to extrapolate the entire nation and their viewing habits. So if those 100,000 people aren't really into something, then they cancel it. But it's just weird.
Plus, it's only based on people watching it live, so we wouldn't be included in those viewing figures because we didn't watch it live.
Well, in the UK, you would be. My mate always tells me the stats because he works for Sky, so he always gets the stats sent to him, and it's like this show gets X amount in upfront viewings, X amount on recorded, and X amount on demand. Because he was saying that Save Me, he did the promo to that. And he said it's the first Sky program to trend on Twitter, which I thought was surprising. And it also was like the highest rated program, the original Sky content they've made in however long. I've not seen it yet, but I must admit the adverts were pretty cool for it. I don't know if you ever listened to the radio, but Save Me is it's got Morgan from The Walking Dead in it. It's Morgan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which spoiler alert, makes me wonder if he's going to die because he's in a program on Sky at the moment. But yeah, he's, I don't know if he's a cop or what. It sounds like people are getting kidnapped and it's all a bit mysterious. But Yeah, that I get to see the ratings like that from my mate at Sky because he's always talking about it. English programs do not get many views though. It's a bit bizarre, really. You'd be lucky if you got like 5 or 6 million for a program on Sky One, and that's probably one of the most watched channels on sort of satellite.
Well, let's just cancel The Walking Dead. Sorted. They're wrapping things up. Everyone's going to die. And that's why they showed us this thing that then I genuinely don't think they'll get that far.
Well, I never knew it was fantasy. As I say, I wasn't paying. It's only Claire said to me, "Why is he there?"
Well, we've been seeing these little flash forwards towards the end of last season, towards the end of the first half of the season. But it was in this episode it became clear that was what Carl wanted. That was Carl's dream for the future. That's what he was thinking about as he was dying.
I mean, what kills me even more than about that somebody sat there in the writing studio about with all the people and went, "I've got it. We just have 6 episodes where we film scenes that are completely meaningless, and then we just tie them all in as Carl's fantasy."
Well, Carl even said to Rick, "You've got a big beard." Talking about this future that he's imagining for him. He's telling him about the big beard that he has in the future. And, I mean, it was just, I
mean, that's like, can you imagine if we were writing still and you said to me, right, what I want to do is I want to have it I want to keep referencing this future, and then I want to reveal that none of that happens. It was all a fever dream. And then I'm just going to carry on with another story. I'd be like, What the hell are you doing? Why waste people's time? Like, what does that serve? This isn't Lost. Like, you know,
it's purely just here you go, have this for comic readers. Have a bit of this because you're never seeing it. That's why. I mean, they've been sowing this seed for 2 or 3 months, haven't they? This was back October, November time. We saw the first snippets of this, and we're like, "Ooh, well, that's gone forward a long way. That's almost where the comics are now." And it was just a deliberate troll.
You need to catch up on the comics, although don't because they're rubbish. But
it was just a deliberate troll back then. It was.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why would you troll? Why if you and I were program and you said, "I've got an idea. I want to troll the comic viewers."
Because Kirkman's a tool bag. That's why
he's a prick. He's an absolute prick, and I can't believe that he's. I can't believe anyone thought this was a good idea. Like. I'm all for him deciding I don't want to copy the comic. I'll go off and do another thing. I've had another idea perhaps, but to it'd be fine if it was good. It'd be absolutely fine if he'd gone, I've got another idea, and then it was decent. But I don't know anybody who's watching this and going, well, I quite like it. Like even my wife's saying it's not great. It's okay. I said to her, do you have to watch it while I'm in the room? I don't really want to see it. She was like, I'm not really fussed. You know, she was like, I'll watch it now if you're okay, but I'll watch it tomorrow if you'd rather not sit through it. And so in the end, I thought, well, I'm being unreasonable making her not watch it. But she wasn't fussed, and she was mad about it 2 seasons ago. We were all mad about it 2 seasons ago.
That's because it was good then.
I can't believe they've wrecked such an obvious, simple show.
Well, I was trying to trace back to where it started to go wrong, and it was when it was the moment they did the "Who did Negan kill?" thing and tried to string it out for 6 months over a summer. Yeah. From that moment on, it's just been downhill, because at that point they had to do something that we weren't expecting, and from then on, they just seem so focused on tricking people who think they know where it's going. Rather than trying to tell a good story, they're trying to trick the people who've read the comics. It's just, it's so frustrating. But Anna, you're really glad you brought this up now, aren't you?
I'm just tired.
Do you still like it, Anna? Like, much?
It's all right. Yeah. I want to watch it. I knew it came out on Monday, and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And Kev's like, no, you can't watch it without me. So he does like it. He's just playing.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to carry on. I'm not going to stop watching it because I want to know where they're going. But it's frustrating me as I'm watching it.
I'm not going to watch it, but I know I'll know where it goes, if that makes sense. Like, I'm too connected to people like yourselves, so I don't need to watch it because I'll understand where it's going, if that makes sense. You're not going to be talking next week about how aliens appeared and it all went berserk and just random people I've never heard of have suddenly been involved in an important way.
No, next week we'll be talking about what happened this week, but from someone else's point of view. And they'll do that for 3 episodes in a row. So we've got that to look forward to. And
then the thing is as well, and we've said,
it'll be Negan sat in a bush with a pair of binoculars watching Carl die for an entire episode.
I can predict that it will happen. That Negan will try and reason with him and say, "Look, it's not my fault. Your son died. You know, I'm keeping people alive. I'm keeping people good. You know, until you came along, we had a good thing going. You know, we didn't actually hurt people. We maybe, you know, life weren't great for them, but if they knuckled down, it was all good. Life's a struggle, and Rick's just not going to listen. He's going to irrationally kill him, and he's just going to somehow they're going to write it that Rick, even though he did the wrong thing, everything kind of muddles on right, and then they'll just have a slow festering final season, and then they'll kill Rick. That's how I think it'll go.
That all seems perfectly believable. Even that, I mean, what if they really want to go down this? At least let Negan win. Let Negan be the one who was make it clear after all this time that Rick was the baddie.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Rick was the baddie with the governor. Rick was the baddie with Negan. Rick is just a psychopath, and tell us that story for a season and a half, and then end it.
If they did that, I might. That'd be something that'd make me think. You know what? All right, I'll have a crack at that. At the moment, it just feels like they're going to make Rick the hero, even though he's not acting like Rick should or does or would. It's weird. That's the thing. That's what killed it for me, I think, after that. Like you're saying about the who died cliffhangers, it's the irrational. That episode where Rick and Daryl had a fight in the street completely out of nowhere. I was just like, that's the episode where I was just like, I just can't watch it anymore. It was just irrational. These guys have been living through thick and thin together for years now, and like I'm pretty sure if Rick just said, you know what, like I want you to go and jump on a grenade for me, Daryl would, but they just started having a punch up in the street. I was like, this is just trash.
Well, they had to get rid of all those weapons they had, or they'd have won.
Yeah. Oh, that's it again. Oh, don't remind me. I'd forgotten. Just slid into the river. Oh, it's trash. It's like,
well, the thing is, they back themselves into that corner because if you've got to have a pointless fight to get rid of the weapons, why give them in the first place? You gave them those weapons 3 episodes before.
It's funny because I know I've ranted about like Flash and Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow and stuff because they do silly things from time to time, but even they know to not back themselves into a corner or to give themselves an upper hand that they then have to get rid of. Every time I've thought that was a bit convenient. I know I was moaning the other week that someone developed a power they needed in that episode. But actually, ultimately, 3 episodes on, it's not really helped that much because the problem's harder than they thought. Every time they think they get ahead, that there's more to it. And that's decent writing. It's not outstanding writing, but it's decent writing. Whereas Rick's like when Doctor Who, like The Walking Dead is like when Doctor Who gets really bad and it's like he's backed into a corner and then he starts waving his sonic screwdriver around and it all fixes and you're like, that's not good writing. It's a shame when American TV does that. It doesn't happen it happens with Doctor Who a lot, but it doesn't happen often with our programs. I think people have more time in this country.
I'm just reading something online that says apparently Maggie's not in it anymore because she's locked in a contract dispute and has signed on for a different pilot with ABC, and they're confident she'll return, but don't expect to see any Maggie scenes this season.
That's insane.
That whole side of things is just gonna. There you go. She's off somewhere else.
That is hilarious.
There's quite a lot of articles on this. Her season 9 status is she. So, yeah, she might be back next season. They're confident she'll be back next season, but we won't. So everything that was happening with her, just forget that. We're not going to see any of that now because contract dispute. Anna, are you wanting to say goodbye?
Yeah, I'm so tired, and you're not going to about Doctor Who now. I'm just like...
No, we're going to start
we
talking about
weren't.
comics.
We were not talking about Doctor Who, mate. Don't worry.
So you can take your leave. Where can people find you on the internets?
I'm at Miss Lelujo, and I'm around other places.
You'll find her.
Follow Anna on Instagram. Instagram is more fun than Twitter. Anna's Instagram is good, and she's Anna_Lelujo on there.
I say I have no idea, but I am very tired.
And I'm going to force you to start using Instagram stories because it's fun.
Well, I asked you today, but you just
I'll teach you. Now I'm an expert. I'll teach you how Instagram stories work. Right, toodle pip, Anna.
Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
So, Comics Corner then.
Yeah.
What have we been reading?
I'll let you guys go first.
I'll go first then. I had read nothing until 8 o'clock this evening when I realised I'd done nothing else for this show, so I better do something. So I just went to my newly received comics pile and grabbed the one that was on top, and I've read the first 3 issues of God Country, and it's brilliant. The basic gist of it is it's set out in the middle of nowhere in Texas, and it's this old fella who's got Alzheimer's and is pushing his family away, doesn't know his own name, angry, violent man. He lives with his son, and his son's wife and daughter are there trying to look after him, but she wants to leave. She ends up leaving and taking the daughter just as this massive tornado hits. But it turns out it's not a tornado. None of this is spoiler. This is all on the back of the book when you buy it. The tornado wasn't a tornado. It was actually this massive 12-foot long magical sword from another dimension turning up, that when the man holds the sword, he gets all of his memories back and basically becomes him again. But the sword belongs to a god who wants it back, and it then becomes this... at the end of the 3rd issue, it's basically this confrontation where you've got the god who wants his sword back and the guy who, unless he's holding the sword, doesn't even know his own name because the Alzheimer's comes back, but the sword can heal him, but only while he's holding it. And it's just brilliant. It's so very cool. Once I'm done talking to you rascals, I'm back in the house and finishing this bad boy tonight because it was just superb. Plus, it was a mini-series as well, so it will be completely standalone in the book that I've got.
Really?
So it will be a complete story, which will be marvellous. I assume it is. It says mini-series, so I guess they could have, do another mini-series in the future, but this story will be complete and told from what I get in this book. And it's quite a thick book as well. I'm 3 issues in, and I don't feel like I'm hitting the halfway point of the book yet, so it might even be an 8-parter rather than a 6, which would be pleasant as well. But it's very, very cool. I'm not sure who sent me that, but whoever it was, thank you very much for sending it to me. It's really cool. See, I do get to these books eventually. Everybody, thank you.
Did either of you see the message? I haven't checked it out, but Simon Brooke was telling us to read Transmetropolitan, and I've not heard of it. So I don't know if either of you have or have read it.
Message.
Isn't that Grant Morrison?
I'm not sure.
This is Kev, who's Googled it earlier and read about it.
No, I think I've got it. I'm looking on my shelf now.
Yeah.
I can't see it. I haven't seen the message. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Hold on, might be something else.
Warren Ellis.
So it's not what I'm thinking of at all then.
I'm not. No,
I've never heard of this.
It's a cyberpunk transhumanist comic book series by Warren Ellis, co-created by Derek Robertson. I'm trying to get to the plot.
Cool,
60 issues.
11 volumes. Good. I can't afford to get into this crazy talk. Although, having said that, the main character is called Spider Jerusalem, so I'm now in. I am in with a name like that. Get me to Amazon.
Brilliant.
Amazon.co.uk Transmetro. You talk amongst yourselves. I'm ordering some books.
Go on, Sheepdog. Do you want me to go? Or
I mean, to be honest, all I've done this week is caught up on various DC comics in dribs and drabs. I can't think of anything non-Batman. I feel a little bit one-dimensional at the moment with comics because I've got such a big pile to get through, and it's because I'm really enjoying the dark metal event.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going off down rabbit holes and catching up on all of them. And I feel guilty even when I'm doing it, because it's a bit like I'm doing what I want to do, but I get that there's not much to really talk about because everybody else is reading all these awesome other stories. And I think I'm just opting for a slightly trashier B grade rather than going and looking for gold.
You're being Call of Duty and FIFA.
Yeah, and I do. Yeah, I acknowledge that, but I'm just enjoying it. I think I'm impressed. For someone who can't quite get a movie right, DC are doing very well with their comics. I'm intrigued by Marvel's attempts to now go and do their own event. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to all the other stuff. I did try and read more of Miracle Man. Which one did I know I mentioned this last week? I'm sure. Did one of you told me this was really good? Who was it who said it? Was it you, Kev?
Big Kev, yeah.
I'm reading. So I sat down last week to try and read further through it, and there was this really bizarre story about a Winter. I think it's a little baby girl who's called Winter, who flies around through space and all sorts of nonsense. I think she was created by Miracle Man. And it was just such a bizarre story that I read the first few pages and then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just skip 8 pages and read the next story. But it turns out it's like 15, 20 pages long. And then the next story referenced it. And I thought, oh, for God's sakes. So I went back and I've been trying to get through this story all week. And it's just not interesting. But I don't believe we're reading the same Man book, because some of this has been decent and proper Neil Gaiman stuff that I've enjoyed, and then other bits of this have just been stupid and boring and rubbish. And
well, it's not all by him, is it? It's
well, this is what I mean. Although I don't want to assume this isn't by him, this bit, but do you remember there being an irritatingly long-winded bit about a little baby called Winter?
I mean, it is. Not necessarily. Hold on, I'm sending you a picture of the cover now to see if it looks like the one that you're.
I almost hope it's not, but let's see.
So Twitter, and this is good listening. I'm tweeting Sheepdog a photograph
because, don't get me wrong, I'm at a point now where I've read a good, I don't know, at least 15, 20 graphic novels by these people now. Book 1, A Dream of Flying. That, first things first, that looks too thin to be the book I'm reading.
The first book 1 is much thinner than 2 and 3. I've got the 3 of them on the shelf behind me, and they're. Hold on, I'll take a picture of the 3 of them so you can see how they get bigger as they move on in the series. So, I don't know, perhaps you're reading them in the wrong order.
Well, no, I've got one book. Miracle Man. I wonder if it's like an omnibus book that has all 3 of them in it, and maybe I'm on book 3 now, or what? I don't know. But my point is, it was really good at the start, and that's what got me really into it. And then it's just turned a bit poop now, and I'm wondering whether it's. So he does a lot of side books for Sandman and stuff like that, and they're good. Sometimes they're a bit harder to read, but this is killing me. Honestly, I'm just struggling.
Well, stop then and read something else. You silly bear.
Yeah, you're right, but
Siri wants me to be a silly bear. If you say so, she said. Thanks, Siri. I didn't ask. I don't think.
Just trying to find what one I got now. I got Miracle Man, The Golden Age, which is worrying if this is their golden age.
Right, I'm now trying to work out what you've done.
Yeah,
Miracle.
You got wrong here, Sheepdog.
What I seem to have done is, I've bought some sort of, because the first story in mine was about a bloke climbing this ginormous pyramid that was more like a mountain, and getting to the very top of the mountain and asking the Miracle Man for a miracle. And
this is the follow up to the 3 that I've got.
Oh, right. Okay. So I should have read 3 stories and learned about Miracle Man first.
Yeah.
They do keep referencing a major event that happened.
Yeah, what it says on Amazon, originally a traditional superhero, blah, 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 in the hands of writer Alan Moore, which I've got, and Neil Gaiman comes in the 3rd book, I think. The story of Miracle Man became a subtle examination of what it means to be a superhero. In this new graphic novel, Neil Gaiman continues and expands Moore's work. So it's a direct continuation of the 3 that I've just sent you a picture of.
Okie dokes, right.
Put it to one side, read these ones first, then go back.
Yeah, okay, that makes me feel a lot better. It makes me feel a bit disappointed that it's all Neil Gaiman. It's just the winter bit that's killing me. And at least I know now it's probably not that relevant. It was just like one of the characters reading a bedtime story to another character whilst this winter thing was there, and it was about her. And I was just thinking, what is he doing? What is this? This isn't even about Miracle Man. When it's about Miracle Man, I'm like, this is pretty cool. Some of the smack. You'd probably enjoy most of this book if you've read the first 3. I'm pretty sure I need to go back through the archives of the podcast, but I'm pretty sure, Kev, that I sat here and asked you if this was the right book to buy, and I'm pretty sure you said it was. So
yeah, but at that point, I wasn't sat in front of my shelf, so I couldn't check. Whereas this is you're benefiting from my new studio layout by me being able to just turn around and take photographs now.
I won't hold a grudge. I enjoyed it until I got to winter. Hopefully, I think I'll just persevere because I'm nearly done, and then I can put it on my bookshelf with the other ones and move on. I've got the Judas Contract, the Teen Titans story. It's supposedly their greatest story, and I've been waiting to read that for over a year. So I need to finish this so I can get on with it. I also want to crack on with Death Note because I've only read the first one and I've got the whole set. And somebody told me that was brilliant.
It is brilliant. So read it and then read it again. You'll need to read it twice because it's so good.
Okay, cool.
Right, are we...
It's Pab yet, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me.
Keep forgetting you're supposed to talk about stuff, Pab.
Yeah. We're going back to Brian K. Vaughan corner again.
Ah, splendid.
Call it the Brian K. Vaughner.
If you want.
I like it.
That's good. Have you read Ex Machina, Kev?
No.
No, I hadn't either. It's one I've heard is very good. I picked this up in the Christmas sales, I think, $1.99 for the volume 1. I was like, yeah, all right. It's a no-brainer. So this is a book about... It's about this chap who's the mayor of New York City, but he used to be a superhero, and he got these powers from this weird like thing that mutated him, and his power was he can control anything mechanical. So initially at the start of this book, someone tries to assassinate him. When he starts becoming the mayor, and he just tells the gun to lock, sort of thing, and it just doesn't shoot. And he can do this with pretty much any sort of anything mechanical, he can control and tell it to do whatever. And it's a story. It is a story of how he's trying to not be this superhero anymore because he feels like he's done a lot. He's not really helped. He's just made more problems being this superhero. So he's gone on to try to be mayor to try and clean up the world, sort of thing. And it's all right. It's all right. It's not my favourite Brian K. Vaughan book, but it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like there's parts of it you can tell it's Brian K. Vaughan. You know, there's certain tells with him that you can it's Brian because Brian K. Vaughan.
The book's brilliant. That's usually the big tell.
It is. It's good. It's better than most books, but I wouldn't say it's his best. It's his best book. I mean, like I say, I still prefer stuff like Paper Girls and Saga and stuff like that. But like I say, I think it's only got, based on the back, I think it's only got 10 books. So it's not a massive, big story, but it's just intriguing. I mean, the first book ends with because he has a like an assailant or someone who is like it was his wingman, basically, his oracle sort of thing, and he's trying to talk him into going to get back in the suit and become a superhero again. And he's like, no, and he's talking. And he's saying, you did it that last time in September, and look how much good you did. And he's like, this is the end of the first issue, and at the end he's like, well, I wasn't good enough, was I? And then they've turned the page over. He said, if I was a proper superhero, I'd have stopped the first plane. And they turned the page over, and it's like one of the towers, the twin. He saved one of the twin towers, but didn't get to the first one. And I was like, wow, okay. So they're going for like a alternate history type thing, but it's all set around 2000, 2002-ish. Sort of like it jumps back and forth between when he's like started up being this superhero and then gone back to like times like 2002-ish where he's the mayor trying to clean up the city. It's a nifty book. It's all right. Like I say, I got it in the sale for Forbidden Planet in the winter sale for next to nothing, and it was well worth the £2 or £3 that I paid for it. So if I see it cheap again, if I see the other books cheap, and I probably will do because it seems like it's not a new book. So I might just keep picking them up every now and again. But yeah, that's all I've read. I've tried to read a volume a week. That's my volume a week.
Well, we shall leave things there for this week then, because I can hear that there is a barking dog in the house, which I probably need to go and deal with if Anna's gone to bed. So we should probably wrap things up. We have Twitter and stuff. I never remember how this podcast ends now.
Did you know you can find
go on, Sheepdog. I'll let you do it. Go on, keep going.
Or Kev's at Lelujo and I'm at RB6K. Anna's at Mr. Lujo and Pab's at Pab 1986.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what year. I was like, Harold.
Where else can people find us, Sheepdog?
You can follow Kev at Lelujo FM or on YouTube or wherever else his stuff is found. Or you can follow me at sheepdogrights.com.
What about Facebook, which is what I was getting at?
We're at Facebook under, what is it, Mature Gamer Podcast?
I believe it's facebook.com/Mature Gamer Podcast, yes.
And we're on iTunes where Pab wants you to leave the dice suggestions, I believe.
Yeah, why not?
Guess where the dice
5-star review with a guess in the comment as to what number Kev will roll at the start of next week's show.
Exactly. These dice have been on my desk since you gave them to me. And bearing in mind, this is the third desk I've had since then, and I always move them. They just sit on the desk.
Good.
Maybe they're lucky. You're obviously getting, more and more success with every desk you get.
Exactly. And this desk is now the biggest desk I've ever had. Even back when I had a real job, this desk is bigger than that. It's an enormous desk.
Your new studio looks ridiculous. The pictures you posted, I was like, that's full-on professional YouTube.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It looks brilliant.
It's only half finished as well at the moment because I've got the other half of the room to sort.
You need to be careful reminding people there's only a garage door behind you because they'll just start breaking in.
It's a garage door it's got bolts on the bottom and massive bookcases leaning against it that are drilled in the ceiling. It's going to take some. Their best bet is to break into the house, break out the back of the house, and then break into the utility room. That's going to be easier than getting this garage door open.
I was going to say you were talking about it, and I was thinking, what is he doing? Like,
plus there's
started adding up how much the value of the stuff in the picture was at one point because I just thought he's setting himself up.
Plus there's a Wi-Fi enabled smart CCTV in here and outside that both link up to my phone and record and back up to the cloud constantly. So even if they do get in, they're getting recorded from two different cameras, which will immediately give me an alert on my phone wherever I am. And just don't bother people. Rob someone else. You ain't getting in here. And if you are, you're going to prison.
And there's the gun turret.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Plus, Dave will just absolutely wreck you if you get
bloody hell, yeah. Dave's a scary man.
Right. Go away. See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Thank you very much for listening.